Wow. Okay. Well, that's too difficult for them, clearly.
I Yeah, they were coming downhill from above me,
Mm.
so like, it wasn't a good setup, and it was close quarters, and it's one of those situations where if I had any concern that I would encounter a mountain biker, I would have already have put her on a leash. But the thing was, is like I literally had not seen another person in 7 miles of hiking,
Which is
but
fair.
I was like half a mile from the trailhead, and yeah, they just I don't know if they hit her or if they just like spooked her so much because they were moving so fast and so big that yeah, she just ran for like a couple miles basically in front of them. So yeah, just because
Yeah.
they were assholes who could not stop when they saw a running dog and be like, oh, let's yeah.
Well,
That's
I
what
mean,
he meant by don't chase a dog that's running,
fair enough.
because the more you chase it, the more it runs.
What I was also going to say too is like this just fits more into your theories about bicyclists in general, just
Yes.
not being
Yeah.
great people.
The rest of the mountain bikers at the mountain bike race were perfectly fine people.
Hmm.
They were they're they're great people on both sides, is what I would say.
On both sides.
Um, but they they the guys who are like, yeah, out there ahead of the mountain bike race, and like they have to post a better personal record on their Strava time, and that's why they can't fucking stop for like 5 seconds to let me leash my dog, are
Yeah, they can.
probably some of the worst people on earth.
Also, probably individuals that, regardless of citizenship, we should just deport. Like, I think we can. I think we can deal without them. We can send them to Europe or some other fucking backwater area.
No, Europe would be heaven to them.
You're
No, we
right.
need to send them to Eswatini or something like that.
Yeah, actually.
South
Ooh,
Sudan.
South Sudan, Mogadishu. Actually, I think would be a good destination. Be really easy for their bicycles to navigate
You
on
don't
the
even need
bomb
to deport
craters.
them; just send them to Minneapolis.
Actually, yeah, that's true. At this point, they can just go to Minneapolis. uh, so, Max, my friend, you are very blurry at the moment. You are.
Oh, I might need to put more lights on if I don't want to be blurry. Okay.
There we go. Better.
Is that? Well, yeah. Well, it's so dim
Yeah, no,
in
it's like,
here.
show us your face, brother. Yes,
Also, the camera's like not at all pointed at me. So
of course. It's pointed at your hat, which, if it's the fish hat, I understand. But now we're just up. Now we're down. Where are we? There we
no, that's not
up.
gonna work. Whoa, hey, maybe we'll see. We'll see. Let's see if it sticks. Are we in pre-show yet?
We are in pre-show. We got a little bit of your story about bicyclists being assholes. I fixed the audio correctly, so it picked up pretty much everything. So look at us go.
We're starting to develop a little bit.
A little bit. We're getting better.
Sometimes, if you make a dog or an old cat do the same thing 30 times in a row, it
Eventually,
might
it's
learn
gonna.
a
Yeah,
trick.
they usually. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the other thing we need to start doing is actually like clipping our fucking episodes and posting them because that's like
Mm,
it'd be so easy for us to just give a little bit of effort. Probably me, since I have the least going on out of everyone. I think.
I I like lost my dog, and
Yeah.
I did not sufficiently yell at the bicyclists while I did not freak out enough at them, and I think I'm just like burnt out to a degree because I
Fair
like
enough.
just work too much, or like my schedule's so taxing in a
Mm-hmm.
like sense of just like having to be Like I was supposed to be at work last night, and then I was at work the last night till 10,
Hmm.
and tomorrow night I'll be working till,
Ugh.
or I won't get home till midnight, and
Ew.
then Friday I won't get home till 10 p.m.
When
or
do you
something like
usually
that.
go to work, like during the day? Like when does your day start?
Well, that's the fucking problem too, because I will get up and do administrative shit and do our like private show schedule
Hmm.
early in the morning, like
Oh,
10
jeez.
to 2. And then like I guess I have like afternoons off. Like
I mean, yeah, but it's like, see, if that were me, I couldn't do anything in between because, like, I'd just be sitting around going, must work later, must prepare self, do work later.
no, I
Like, I can't. What am I gonna do?
and then I want to go take like time off and be like, okay, I'm gonna go take my dog for a hike, and then like it ends up being like my entire night trying to find my dog.
Hmm.
So, can't catch a break.
Cannot.
No rest for the wicked.
No rest for the wicked. Money doesn't grow on trees.
No, I wish I had some wherewithal to be like, oh, I should make clips again.
Yeah,
Last clip I made was like the blunt smoking meme joke thing.
yeah, I think so. And I think
Pipe,
Matt,
no, Nord Stream pipeline joke.
and there was Matt. Matt made one about like he got me with a pretty good gay joke. I don't remember what it was, but it was something like,
Oh yeah. I
yeah,
remember.
I don't remember, but he got me. So there was that. So yeah, I think the responsibility just falls to me because, like, again, I have the lease going on. I have a cat who doesn't leave the apartment. Like, I only work till 7 during the holidays. That'll be a different story. I'll be like working 50+ hour weeks, but
Mm.
that's no fucking thing. That's whatever. It's November and December, so it's 6 weeks. It's not bad. But let's kick it into the main show. We got a lot of things to cover. A lot of little things that aren't that important, and nothing will probably happen, but they're worth mentioning. So here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 181 of the All for Madcast podcast. I already fucking it up. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a few different things. The title of the episode is called Sig-Nificant Events. I guess we'll start with that. That's a good place to start as any. So, another 320 model, this time an M18, in the Air Force, went off in a holster and unfortunately actually killed a member of the Air Force. Like, as far as the story goes, he had some sort of specialized holster, partially due to the fact that in the Air Force, I guess it's pretty common for them to have chest-mounted holsters or chest-mounted handguns. And
Hmm.
I don't exactly know what happened, if it went off while it was on his chest or if it went off while it was on his desk. But the version I heard from an individual, a friend of mine who works in the MIC, so he works for L3 Harris, um, basically he took the gun in a holster and put it on his desk in front of him, and I guess it was pointing at him, and it went off and hit him in the chest, and he died.
It was his own gun that shot him.
It was his own gun that shot him. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I didn't catch that. I thought it was like he put it down on a table and was pointing at somebody else, and
Okay,
you
maybe
know,
actually. I don't. I see. That's the. I'll have to go back and read the message. I thought from the message it was his own gun, but it would. I guess that would make more sense. Like, because my first question would be like, why the hell did you
like
put it on the desk and point it at yourself? First of all,
yeah, and I feel like you'd put it down
yeah,
and like you might not notice that you're flagging some guy peripheral to you as you're putting it down.
exactly.
Um,
Which would
but
make
you also
that
wouldn't
makes way
think
more
of
sense.
it as being a problem because it's in the
In a
holster.
holster, exactly.
And
Yeah,
it's not a
like.
Blackhawk holster. It was like a Safari Land holster. It's not
Mm,
like a yeah. It's my so my brother's agency had to decommission all their SIGs, or
ugh,
they have to replace all their P320
mm.
variants, which used to be on the roster for approved, and now they're
Is
switching to it was like 2011s and Glocks and
mm,
M&Ps and I forget what else was on it was a surprisingly small roster because it
mm,
was like, oh, the gunsmith for the department was only approved to, or like only has certifications for like these like
mm,
4 or 5 brands. And I'm like, wait, you can't have an M9. And he also has like an HK USP, which would
mm.
be perfect for like you know,
The
a
USP
duty
was
carry pistol.
specifically designed like there are so many law enforcement agencies in like I want to say the 90s especially that carry the
Yeah,
USB regular. Like they have the 9, they have a 40 variant. I have a 45 right here. I fucking love this thing. It's a tank and it's not
yeah.
going to fucking go off and kill me because it actually has a manual safety, which guns don't necessarily have to have that. I like that it has that, but the Glock's not going to fucking go off. The Smith and Wesson's
Well,
not going to go off.
okay, it's a hammer fired gun with a proper trigger block on it is
Mm-hmm.
the difference.
Which the
Okay.
Sig does not
Um
have.
and the other thing is the he has a P226, which is also
Fantastic
was
Sig firearm.
yeah, fantastic. Like I have a 229, I have a 224, I have a 938.
Mm-hmm. Like
I have a lot of Sig pistols and I love them
that's
all. It's just I don't
exactly
own any striker fired Sig pistols
that's the
because
problem because like Sig used to have such a great reputation for handguns, but you're right. They're none of the good ones they make are striker fired. They're dangerous. Like the
well
365 is like it's okay, I think, because it's I don't know
I it does have a slightly different trigger pack design
though.
than the
Okay.
320. I don't think anybody's reported an issue with the 365 that I know of.
But in
I think
general,
maybe early on there were some quality control issues,
so
but
when I
the
was
thing is,
working in
like
the
when you're
sorry.
running a huge military contract, you're gonna and they okay. Getting to the whole Sig thing. I think some pockets got greased. Sig, I think, got like private equity purchased at some point
I believe they
to a
did.
significant degree,
Mhm.
and they were like, "Oh shit, we need to like go full in on these military contracts." And hey, it doesn't actually take a lot of money to make sure that we are the favored contract among all these competitors, which clearly in the rifle program and in the pistol program there were superior options,
Yeah.
and there was no really intelligible reason that Sig won both the rifle and the pistol and the SMG contract all within
Yeah.
the space of like 2 years. And it's like, listen, all you had to do was like get some guarantees of money down the line to like 2 or 3 generals, and you could probably win all 3 of those contracts. And who knows who those guys are, but like it's not just like at this point there's been a couple of negligent discharges. I think several dozen people at this point have died
Yeah.
because of the bad manufacturing. Because not only was it the private equity saying like, "Oh, we're gonna grease pockets to secure these contracts," we're also going to cut costs as much as possible. A P320 costs like $35 to make.
Yeah, man.
Okay, it's
It's
and
it
the
should
idea that you're
cost
not
more.
going to have
It should
you're
cost
not gonna
more.
you're not going to have like the basic amount of engineering and quality assurance go into a $35 item to make sure it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't like negligently kill the people who are carrying it is bonkers to me. When
Yeah.
obviously like they could have done the testing and said, "Hey, the only striker fired pistol that meets these requirements is a Glock or something that is a direct copy of a Glock," which the
Yeah.
M&Ps are at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just like so obviously a case of just government contract corruption and private equity hollowing out what was a great corporation at one point. And
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, probably you're still a-okay to buy any other Sig products, but
Well,
any of
actually,
the
one caveat.
adopted. Mm,
One caveat about Sig products. Do you remember a couple years ago? I think it was like there were 2 separate instances where there were batches of Sig cross rifles that were having issues with their trigger packs as well, where basically they would essentially cock a gun. So like the firing pin is like ready to go. It's in
yeah.
place. The bolt is in place. Like there's a round in the chamber, but they have a safety on. The Sig cross rifles were going off.
Oh,
Sometimes they
for
were
real.
going off like it was either
That's
during
that's like an AR-15 variant, right?
it kind of I don't know. I think it's actually there are bolt I know. Okay, no, they're bolt actions.
Oh, oh no, yeah, yeah. They're like a Mauser variant,
Yeah,
but
but
they
the thing
yeah yeah
about
yeah.
them, it was either on like the deactivation or the activation of the safety. I don't remember what it was, but there was, I think Nuttin Fancy did a video on it and a couple other
Hmm.
people did a video, and he either puts the gun into safe or takes it out of safe,
Hmm.
and with that motion, it goes off.
Yeah.
So I remember because I was working at a gun store at the time, and it was like this guy who I was working for had lots of connections in the industry, and he was getting like some of the very first Sig Cross rifles, and we had like pre-orders, like all like 20 people in the store who had like a
Mhm.
cross rifle pre-ordered. We had to recall all 20, and I remember him being so fucking pissed off that day
Yeah.
because all of his friends and his buddies were bringing their rifles in. He kept having to say the same fucking thing to him, and he was just getting madder and madder every time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a huge fucking thing. And it's like, it seems every couple of years now, SIG just has this issue. Like what you said with the 365 originally in their trigger group, there were some quality control issues, specifically with some springs in the trigger that were
Mhm.
wearing out after they were supposed to last, I don't know, maybe you'll have to do a spring change like every 5,000 rounds or something like that. They were
Yeah.
crapping out after like 1,000 rounds. But it
Mhm.
was a very simple thing. Like it wasn't like the gun would go off or anything like that. You would just have like a shitty trigger, like that either wouldn't
Mhm.
fire or it would just be super squishy or something like that. But it was an easy fix, and the gun was still actually safe. This is like this is beyond so fucking bad. Like,
I think the thing is that there's if the quality control is bad enough,
mm-hmm,
the trigger group will flex internally. If like so, what I think happens, he places it down on the table,
mm-hmm.
and it flexes internally, and that releases the trigger block just by and it's kind of like a fucking Nambu pistol with
It
the
is.
external trigger block where you slap the side of the gun and it goes off. If people know guns, like that's the
Glorious.
thing that's like notorious about the Nambu like Type 18 or whatever it was, like their
That's
little
glorious Sig Sauer steel, folded over 1,000 times by skilled samurai.
by, by skilled New Hampshire redneck.
Ah, faulty guns built by
So
Appalachians. So it's like the 80s. But here's the thing, though. So
but
you have the Glock 19X, which arguably was definitely a superior and still is a superior handgun for that competition. You had
Mhm.
Smith and Wesson's variant, which poor Smith and Wesson hasn't gotten picked up for government contracts since revolvers stopped being the main carry for most police and military. And then you
they
have
did have a limited in Vietnam. They did have a contract to make the double action pistols for um the it was like special operations forces. They wanted
oh,
double action, double stack pistols, and they were like they were Smith and Wesson like 506s or
mhm,
something like that. So but that wasn't like a huge contract. That was like a couple thousand guns.
fair enough.
But I think that's like legitimately like the last time Smith got a big military contract. Although they might have been making um a knockoff Carl Gustav
Ooh,
for the military also up until the 80s. It wasn't the main issue submachine gun. It was just like a ad hoc, like, units would order up like several dozen at a time kind of
okay.
thing.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
So there
Yeah.
are two other handguns I would have recommended. I don't know if H&K submitted a new pistol model to that too to try to win that contract. But again, we talked about this earlier. It is a little big and it's a little bulky, but it fucking works. This USP, baby. Look at this thing. This is
Yeah,
sexy.
they wanted something polymer
Yeah.
and lightweight.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing is that Sig so wanted to avoid Glock's striker fired trigger
Patent.
um patent that they tried to do something new. And the thing is like it's fine if it's manufactured correctly.
Mm-hmm. It's just
The
not.
thing is, it's like you, yeah, it's just not. And the thing about like the Glock patent on the safe action trigger
Mm-hmm.
for a striker fired handgun, for a preset striker fired handgun, is that even if you manufacture it really shitty, it still works.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to, like it won't fail in a way that's dangerous.
So
It'll just, yeah, go.
no, I'm sorry. This is a little bit of a tangent, but I was just reminded of this. There's also the Sig new thing. You have the MCX or the MCX LT or that model, which I
Mhm.
believe the Spear is also based on that model. This is an image I found on Reddit which I have seen around in various other places, but it's a showing of the tolerances between the upper and lower receivers of the
Oh
MCX.
yeah.
Are you ready for
Well,
this?
okay, technically that doesn't matter that much.
It doesn't matter that much. However, you should not be able to see, like, I could
Well,
sign,
okay.
yeah, like,
The caveat, yeah, and I see it. I see it. The oh god.
dude, come on, like, it doesn't matter that much, but
So
I could drive my truck through that.
so okay, here's the deal. Technically it doesn't matter
Okay.
because the optic and the barrel are flush or are mounted
Yes.
to each other, right?
Yes.
But the problem is that your hands
All right
are on the
there.
trigger group touching the thing that's touching the gap.
Yeah.
Okay. And if there's any flex or play in that, as you actuate the trigger, you are going to move the gun. And that's going to cause bad groupings, right?
It's gonna cause bad groupings.
Um,
It's also like,
intolerance. Oh my God.
yeah, man, like you're gonna have bad groupings. You're also like, these things do run well, but like, dude, that's just a
Oh,
mudslide just coming
if you,
right through that. Like,
okay, tell me after driving through 20 miles of moon dust
yeah,
in like the American West or Afghanistan or Iraq, that you won't build up like a rind of just dust over the trigger group,
yeah.
and then it'll be like 1, 2. Okay, wait, my
Huh, well,
trigger's
it's
dead.
not resetting. That's weird. Interesting. I'm
Yeah,
in a firefight. My trigger's not resetting.
it
This is
needs to
bad.
be sealed from the environment. That
Yeah.
is what makes the gun reliable.
Meanwhile,
Not loose tolerances.
they were still using Beretta M9s flawlessly. They were just using them to drive tent stakes into the ground. But they worked. They were shittily maintained, but they worked. Beretta, my beloved, also came out with a gun for that competition. It was the M9A3 and the M9A4, which is a very modular version. Oh, excuse me, pizza's trying to come back up. Again, it wasn't a polymer gun, it was a metal frame gun.
Like dogs like saw another dog outside.
Oh, he wants to escape again.
She's gonna go take herself to the bedroom now.
Fair enough.
I've trained her nicely that whenever she can't deal with something, that she just removes herself from the situation.
I've been watching I just refinished the John Adams series on HBO again, and I don't remember what it was exactly. He's like, one of his kids top tier. One of his kids was acting up like early in the show, and he's like trying to focus on something. And he just goes, "Remove yourself, sir," to like his toddler. So I just imagine you doing that to your dog. Remove yourself, ma'am.
No, that's what she just did. She's
Yeah.
just like, I can't deal with like sitting next
can't
to the
deal.
living room window.
I'm going to my safe
I'm gonna
space.
I'm gonna go to my dark place where I can't see anybody.
There you go.
Okay, so the U.S. Army initially required the modular handgun system to be effective, accurate, and more reliable than the M9 pistol. The MHS requirement called for a non-caliber specific weapon and modular features to allow for the adaptation of different fire control devices, pistol grips, and alternate magazine options. The weapon will fit various hand sizes and mount target enables using Picatinny rails. The weapon will incorporate detection avoidance by having a non-reflective neutral color and be operable with a suppressor in place. So the submissions, the competitors were the Beretta APX, which is their rotating barrel handgun, right? Or
But PX4
that's the one that looks like
Storm.
Toblerone.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
PX4 Storm is the one that has the rotating barrel. The Beretta
Yeah,
APX
yeah.
is just a Glock clone, essentially.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's even got the trigger dingus. And then
Yep.
CZ submitted the PO7 or PO and PO9, which are basically CZ75s, like a little bit modernized.
Which are nice guns. I've held and shot a few of those. They're not bad.
It's a Browning action. It's just a 1911 with the slide rails inverted and a double stack magazine. And it's a Browning double action with the slide rails inverted and a double stack magazine. The Glock submitted the 17 MHS and the 19 MHS.
combat situation would actually be. Oh man, that kicked over to the fucking intro real quick. Good thing I caught it. That's fine. Um, oh, man. All right. It was running fine up till a minute ago. I don't know, dude. Handbrake, not the handbrake. Steam Labs kicked over to the intro video again. It'll pop
Oh,
back up into the main video a second. But there we are. We're
what?
back. Hi guys. Sorry about that. So here's the 19X. Or not the 19X. This
Okay.
is the 17 MHS.
Okay.
And you'll see
Yeah.
that right
Oh, it
there,
has
like this. That's the safety.
It's totally serviceable.
It's serviceable, but I can see how in a combat situation, if you're like fucking little like and you've got gloves on and like you're trying to get to it, like maybe it's doable. Like I've held one before. I didn't feel like it was gonna be an issue. But I could see how maybe the military wanted something a little more conspicuous or prominent that was a little bit easier to hit with your
It's
thumb.
it's a little far back, I'll
It
say.
is, yeah.
It looks so yeah.
Which the Beretta also, that was like one of the biggest complaints about the Beretta 92 or the M9 model, was that the safety was like on the back rear of the slide, which is
well, that's why
why
you go with the Grenadier model. Right?
exactly, which I actually had mine converted to when I set it into Langdon. It's pretty fucking nice. I
Yeah.
don't have to worry about that anymore. But yeah, you get a Grenadier model. It's decocker only, and a decocker. I like having a decocker on a gun, man. Like,
Or I'll be honestly, the Taurus variant that has the frame mounted safety on it instead
yeah.
of the slide mounted
So
safety.
that's probably one of
It's
Taurus's
easy
best
as a
guns.
1911. It's as
PT
easy as a 1911. It's fine.
It's the PT92 is what you're thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah, that and it looks far back, but because it's long, and I think that's the problem that Glock had. They should have just made it longer. It should extend forward a little bit, so you have just more purchase to get on it. It's
Yeah.
like a little small, you
It
know,
is a little bit.
that Glock 19 safety ended up being. Um,
But
the entries from Glock and Sig Sauer were down selected as the finalists of the competition. This is from Wikipedia. Once down selected, the two finalists are supposed to undergo a second phase of production verification testing, including 22,500 round endurance test and environmental testing. The contract was awarded to Sig before tests could be carried out.
like the COVID
sorry.
vaccine. Pfizer and
I'm
Sig.
sorry, I was not aware of this backstory. I thought there was it is attributed in part to Sig Sauer aggressively underbidding their cost per handgun. Shortly after February 24th, 2017, Glock filed a protest with the GAO, the Government Accountability Office. They denied the protest in 2017, June 5. Additionally, Steyr of Austria sued Sig in the district court, claiming infringement of the Steyr M pistol. Okay. And in March 2020, the United States District Court for New Hampshire found that Sig Sauer did not infringe on claimed patents and dismissed all motions. So
Home field
we
advantage.
know who the runner-up was, and I think if they had actually done the testing, which is just ridiculous, like the government, the fucking U.S. military has like a $1.5 trillion budget,
Yeah.
and they couldn't run some like a $22,000 or 22,000 round endurance test on selecting the new handgun they're going to issue to every single branch of the military. Because they're so cheap that they really were like, oh, it doesn't matter if we do any testing. Let's just let Sig underbid and like meet the lowest common factor, like the lowest dollar bid that they can offer us. It's actually insane. And like they could have refined the Glock design just a little bit. Like I said, like just add a little bit more purchase to the safety. It would have been.
What's really
totally
a shame
fine.
too is like, have you ever shot an M17 or an M18 or the 320 at all?
I've dry fired them plenty, but I haven't. I don't think I've live fired them.
I
Not that I
owned,
remember.
because I was working in the gun stores when the M17 and M18s, well, the 17 specifically first started coming out, and I had a manual thumb safety on mine, but I had one for like 6 months, and I liked it. there wasn't really anything special enough about it to like make me not sell it, because it was just like, well, I have all of these 9 mils. I don't need like 8 9 mils. I'm gonna sell a couple. And
Mm-hmm.
I kind of missed it, but like now I'm actually kind of happy that I sold it, because God knows what would have happened. But they're not bad shooters. Like they're actually fairly
No.
comfortable. Like especially for my hand size, they felt really nice. They were
Mm-hmm.
flat too. Like the recoil was really not an issue. Like it's 9, so it's not that bad anyway. But for a polymer handgun, it handled 9
No,
very well.
they're light and like you can get a barrel comped version of it
Mm-hmm.
or a slide ported version
Mm-hmm.
that like just is totally flat.
And I remember
And you
part
know
of
the
the
triggers are great.
yeah,
They feel good. They're really smooth and they break really crisp like
they do.
glass. Like the take up's very small. But the problem is like you always make a compromise when you have a safety like that. And there's a reason why John Browning put a thumb safety on the 1911 pistol. If you have a
Mm-hmm.
cocked hammer, or in this case, a cocked striker with a light, crisp trigger pull, you have to have a form of thumb safety on it to compensate for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, the alternative is that you have a preset striker that's a little bit heavier with a trigger dingus that disconnects it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is what Glock did. But they decided, well, oh, we can't do the trigger dingus. We can't do that. It's just not possible. And then they, decided we lost last time when we submitted our double action, single action
Mm-hmm.
Sig pistols. But honestly, if they had, well, okay, that's the private equity part of this.
Mm-hmm.
If they weren't trying to do it as a private equity, like, bid for bottom dollar, they would have said, okay, we're going to submit two of our pistols. We're going to submit a P226, X Legion,
Which
basically.
the 226 has already been used by various special forces teams
Yeah.
like the USP and the Mark 23 for years, but you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, and the 229 was the standard sidearm of the Navy and the SEALs and everything like that for a really long time. It's the
Mm-hmm.
M11.
Yep.
There's the M9 and there's the M11, and they could have just submitted an updated version of the M11 with a slide mounted optic,
Mm-hmm.
and they probably would have been in the final draw
Mm-hmm.
for the competition. Especially because there's the Sig 2022 or something like that, which is the
Yes.
polymer framed version of the hammer.
Yes, I remember that
Uh,
thing.
and the French actually use that as their standard sidearm.
So I
And
remember
I
that
I
was.
talked to I had an old friend that was in the who was in the gendarmerie,
Mhm.
and he kind of disliked his 2022.
So
You
I
know,
can probably understand why. I remember, you ever been to a gun store? Like, I don't know if you've ever worked in one, but like, there are certain guns in gun stores sometimes that are essentially just inventory queens. They are there forever because nobody wants them for some reason.
hmm
And one of these guns in the store I worked at in Utah was a 2022, and I remember we would mess around with it all the time. Part of the problem too was like the owner was asking a little bit too much for it. I think it was like boomer owned, and he was like, "I know what I got. This is used by the
Oh,
French."
it's like on consignment basically,
Exactly,
and
yeah, and it was just too
yeah.
much for what it was. But I remember playing with it, and a couple of things I didn't like about it. Um, there is, I think it's a safety that is like mounted a little lower than normal. It's like right. Let me actually just pull this up. This picture is worth 1,000 me's trying to explain what's going on with the 2022. But okay, there we go. So if you look there, okay, so you see right here this thing. If I remember
Yeah, yeah.
correctly, that is the firearm safety. And the one
No,
I
that's the decocker.
oh, that's a decocker. Okay. But I
Yeah.
remember like holding this thing in my hands and messing around with it. No, I don't want to give away. Thank you. And the controls, like the mag release, the decocker, the slide release, just felt really sloppy, is the best way I could
The,
describe it.
yeah, the polymer frame plus, okay, so you'll notice that the slide lever is connected back to that central pin. So
Yes.
it has a 1911 style takedown, which is not how the other SIGs work.
Mm-hmm.
The other 2000 or 200 series SIG pistols, you just draw it back to the rear and you tilt down the safety or the takedown lever, and it just falls apart. This one you have to draw it back to like a takedown position and push the pin through, and then but so the polymer frame plus those steel controls in it, it feels sloppy, but everything's also just slightly in the wrong position.
Yeah,
And
that
that's
was
because
the other thing. It was just,
yeah, Sig wanted to make a polymer version of the 226 basically, or the
mm,
P229, and they ended up just being like, okay, well, we're going to need we can't do the frame mounted takedown lever because like it's not strong enough to do that kind of takedown anymore, and then we have to um modify the controls to like make them fit relative to that takedown, and it's just all slightly in the wrong position.
yeah,
The ergos on a 226 are fantastic,
they
or
are.
229 or 224. They're all the same.
Mm,
Or the 225, the single stack version. I had a 239, which is like the compact slim stack for a
mm,
while. That's one gun I actually regret selling
yeah.
because like it's not made anymore, and it was just like this slick, like I wish I'd put like wood grips on it and like kept it as like a barbecue gun,
Ooh,
just
yeah.
like this slim double action 9. It's like it was a Swiss version of a 1911, but like
Mm,
really nice, and
yeah.
the single action was better than a lot of 1911s I've shot, especially for a factory gun.
Labs keeps trying to kick us out of the main view. I actually caught it that time. I caught it, but
What is it
I don't
complaining
know.
about?
I don't know. It's like maybe
Okay.
it's me switching back and forth between shit is what's doing it.
uh
Maybe, but like that shouldn't fucking do it, man.
he says see you next week again. What are you talking about? Oh, I'm not even in the live right now.
No,
Oh
you're
shit,
okay.
did it kick us? Hang
We're
on.
we're
Okay, hang
we're
on.
we're here. We're here. God damn it. Yeah. It keeps I don't know why Streamlabs does this. It may have something to do with me switching back and forth between windows. Maybe there's some, I don't know,
Hmm.
maybe there's some fucking macro in here I don't know about that registers that as like, oh, they're closing.
Oh,
Maybe, I don't
if
know.
if you like, yeah, maybe there's a keyboard shortcut that
But
like
like
is
I
mapped
wasn't
to
I
both.
wasn't touching my keyboard. I was typing at some
Yeah.
point, but like other than that, I wasn't. It's just ridiculous, man.
So okay, we talked about handguns for a long time.
Yeah, that's like most
What?
of the episode. We were gonna cover Ozzy died, unfortunately. That's, everybody
Yes.
knows about it at this point. It's kind of surprising that it's surprising he went this long, but it's also still surprising that he did in fact die because he's lived so long. It's like, was he ever really gonna die?
It's supposed to be the Lindy effect, right? Like it of all the rock stars who've already died,
Mhm.
and Ozzy hasn't died. Like all the rock stars who were gonna die did die,
Mhm.
and Ozzy hasn't died, so obviously he won't die. That was
Exactly, exactly.
It's
It's also
the
Betty
Lindy
White.
effect of Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah. But 3 weeks ago, I want to say, he had his farewell concert.
And I watched that. My mom's partner
Mm.
like rented the pay-per-view for it.
It
And
was
I
pretty
didn't
good
even
from
know
what
what
I
was
hear.
happening. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was so good. Now, it kind of I think went like in reverse chronological order of bands as far as like how recent the band started to back in time to
Mhm.
Black Sabbath itself. So like opening up was like Gojira,
Okay.
and or I could look at the set list back to the beginning. Um
Was Post Malone involved?
oh my god. So Mastodon opened actually, and
Oh, okay.
it was so dope, and like uh my mom's boyfriend's basically just this old boomer
Yeah.
who um like has no he listens to a bunch of 80 like AC/DC 24/7.
All right. I
And like
guess.
Mastodon, he's like he turns on this stream and it's from Birmingham.
Yeah.
So it's like 8 hours difference in time zone. And so he's it's like it's morning, it's like breakfast for us. And like
Yeah.
he turns on, he's like, oh, it's gonna be the Black Sabbath concert. And
It's
like
Mastodon.
and Mastodon comes down, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah.
Yeah. What did he think of Mastodon?
I don't think he could really make anything of it. He had no idea what was going on. And then Rival Sons came on. I'm not the biggest fan of Rival Sons.
They're all right.
I've kind of heard them before, but it's like whatever. And then Anthrax comes on.
Ooh, yes.
And I'm like, oh shit, fuck yeah, Anthrax.
Yeah.
And then Hailstorm comes on. I'm like, okay,
Hailstorm's not. They were. I don't know, man. Like back in the day when there weren't that many like females in metal that much, like especially vocalists,
Yeah.
they were cool. There are so many. Like I don't want to say they're bad necessarily, but there are so many more, and there are a lot more. I think are a little bit more talented than Hailstorm, but they're not bad.
No, I mean it's fun on its own. It's just like in the constellation of like coming up next was Lamb of God, and I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, word,
well,
exactly.
I'll listen to three songs from Lamb of God because there's like 3 songs each group. And then Tom Morello, who I hate his politics, but say what you will about him, like he could put together a fucking good band and like play. So he had like this super group featuring like a bunch of artists from throughout the concert. They played a few songs and it was okay. Jack Black did a like a pre-recorded version of Mr. Crowley.
Of course, like, Jack Black was involved. You can't not have Jack Black at the Ozzy concert.
And it was awesome. And then Alice in Chains came up and did a few songs, and it was pretty good. Although like you can always tell when like the sound guy is used to mixing for like a certain group, and then like a different band comes up, and then you can't tell, or like they have it totally mixed wrong.
Yeah.
And so what happened was Alice in Chains came up, and William Duvall has great vocals as a lead vocalist and everything like that. But what makes Alice in Chains is that Jerry Cantrell's doing backing vocals and harmonizing the whole time throughout all that. And they had his mic all like almost all the way down. And I was like, oh, come on. Like it sounded great outside of the fact like you couldn't hear Jerry like doing all the harmonies and stuff. Gojira came up and slayed. They did awesome.
Gojira's amazing.
And then they had a drum off with Travis Barker and Chad Smith of all people.
Cool. All right.
There was another super group featuring Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins.
All right.
Davy Carey of Tool. KK Downing from Judas Priest.
Excellent.
And Tom Morello.
All right.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then that super group did great. And then Pantera goes up. I'm like, oh sweet. I kind of thought about getting tickets to see the Pantera reunion tour because it's Zakk Wylde standing in for Dime. And
Whoa. No,
did you not know about this?
No, dude. Fucking Zakk Wylde stepping in for Dimes. I'm like, I know obviously somebody has to step in for him, but like Zakk Wylde, that's fucking cool, dude.
Yeah,
and of course Zakk Wylde would be at the fucking Ozzy concert. Of course he would. Like,
yeah, no, he organized the whole thing.
Hell yeah.
The whole thing. Yeah. So Zakk Wylde's in for Dime, and Charlie Benante from Down was playing the drums.
Ooh, nice.
And they sounded great, except like the guitar from Zakk, which is fine, was mixed like an entire like order of magnitude higher than the rest of the entire band.
So it was just like pinch harmonics constantly every couple seconds.
Just really pinch harmonics from Zakk Wylde. I was like, wait, I really want to listen to Rex Brown play bass.
Dude, I can like
and like Phil sing, and
I can pick out Zakk Wylde like guitar playing out like a black man blindfolded could pick out various flavors of fried chicken. It's just like, Zakk, yep, the pinch, yeah. Excellent comparison. All right. No, that sounds good. I'm gonna have to catch that.
Okay, and then the next band up
Mm,
was Tool.
of course.
And if you follow Tool, you might know that there is no pro shot footage of Tool in existence anywhere at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so we finally got pro shot amazing concert footage of Tool,
Wow.
and it was mixed perfectly,
Wow.
and you could see the whole band. It was awesome. They played 46 and 2, Hand of Doom.
Ooh.
Tool played Hand of Doom
Ooh.
by Black Sabbath, and then they finished on Enema, which was awesome.
Very cool.
I kind of skipped. I like Slayer, but I kind of skipped over most of the Slayer set because Slayer's just Slayer.
I just don't like. I don't
sounds
hate,
what it is.
I don't not like Slayer. I don't hate Slayer, but like of all the major metal bands, like I listen to Slayer probably the least out of all of them. I don't know why. Like I try to listen to their songs and they're not bad. There's just like I just don't feel grabbed by any of them like I do like I did with Black Sabbath, or like I do with other Ozzy stuff, or like I did with Zakk Wylde, or like I did with Tool. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know. Like I don't
I have
care
a Slayer
about.
shirt too. I mean, I like Slayer. It's just
Yeah.
as I've grown older, they're just not as they don't have the staying power that a lot of other bands do. Yeah,
exactly.
Fred Durst played a pre-recorded version of Changes.
Oh yeah. Dude, I need to catch this fucking concert. I assume it's like on YouTube or some shit, probably, right? Maybe.
It was pay-per-view. I'm assuming that most
all right.
people who re-upload it are going to get copyright
Fair enough.
stricken, but
I'll just
like
pirate that shit, I
hopefully it
guess.
percolates up at some point. Okay, Guns. I'm almost at the end of the sets here. So Guns N'
Yeah.
Roses played,
Mm.
and it was borderline disaster.
Of course, because it's Guns N' Roses featuring Axl Rose at this point, because he's like the only.
Yep.
I assume Slash was not there.
Slash is there.
Oh,
Slash
he was. Okay.
Slash and Axl Rose got back together, so
Oh,
for the
okay.
Ozzy reunion concert.
Fair
Now
enough.
Slash was great, obviously.
Of course, Slash was
can play
great.
guitar.
Yeah.
Axl Rose cannot fucking sing to sing his
Axl Rose. I'm sorry. Axl Rose needs to be put down for everything he has done and everything.
Out the shed.
Just take him out behind the shed and give him the old fucking yeller. Like, I'll make him a T-bone steak myself for his last meal, but he needs to go, dude. Like,
and then Metallica played, and it was
of course,
Metallica.
Metallica's great.
Pretty good. And then it was Ozzy Osbourne featuring like the Ozzy Osbourne band.
Yeah.
And then they finished with Black Sabbath featuring all of the original guys.
Ooh,
Butler,
yeah.
Iommi, and Ward. And
Excellent.
when Ozzy played "Mama, I'm Coming Home," and I think you can find this clips of this. Like, he's very visibly emotional.
Yeah.
And like the crowd, it's just waterworks.
Like, that was probably the one song I saw people posting the most after he passed was "Mama, I'm Coming Home," and like that's. Yeah, I get that. That's just a great fucking song. Like, that's actually the one song my mom first used to introduce me to Black Sabbath and Ozzy and shit. Like, also, again, yes, my mom got me into fucking metal. Let's just put that out there. But, yeah.
See, I had to do this shit all myself. I had to get in.
I just had the right influence at the right time. Thankfully, I didn't go down the fucking AC/DC Beatles path. That would. My mom also loved the Beatles. Somehow that didn't hook me, which is good. But
they're okay. I won't turn off a Beatles song. But there's been a couple times where like you'll listen to some like not one of the big hits from the Beatles, and you're just like listening to Paul McCartney like with the most tortured lyrics ever, and you're just like,
yeah.
Next. All right.
My mom and my sister now are both pretty big Beatle heads, and like they both have Sirius in their cars. So like when I visit, especially if my sister drives, she'll put on the Beatles Sirius station, which in between Beatles songs is just like fun factoids about the Beatles. Sometimes it's interesting, and other times I'm just like, I don't. Oh, thank God. So on this day, Paul McCartney had some loose pebbly stool instead of a solid log, and that inspired this song. Oh, great. That's wonderful. He needed more fiber in his diet.
Did you know that like human culture has continued to progress for the last 60 years?
Yeah, man. Like, How do you have an entire radio station dedicated to this band? Like, if I went to Sirius XM and you could do Metallica. Let's do Metallica, for example. I feel like
There's a
that's.
Metallica station.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, man. Ah, but they probably do the factoids. Kirk Hammett on this
No,
day
no. Okay.
stubbed his toe.
Here's the deal with almost all the other stations, on Sirius.
Mhm.
It's usually like the musicians in the band actually pick the playlists over the day,
Mhm.
and it's like, oh, stuff that Metallica likes or stuff that Pearl Jam likes.
That's
And
fair.
they'll be like every other song or maybe every third song will be a Pearl Jam song or a Metallica song or whatever. And then it'll be a mix of other stuff that is very similar to slash like is liked by the artists themselves. Cause like I think like Metallica, like they put together like, oh, here's our super list of songs just to put on shuffle in between our stuff, right? Just
Yeah.
to mix it up, because they like, even if you're a diehard Metallica guy, you're not going to sit there and just listen to Metallica continuously for 12 hours.
I did that in high school a little bit, not 12 hours, but like, you listen
Well,
through
no,
an
when you're
album or
like
two.
discovering the discography and you
Yeah.
like want to like really experience the music and like embed it in you, like, yeah, you're going to listen to it a few times in a row, but like
12 hours? No.
Yeah. So, okay, a concert film will be released in theaters, and
Ooh.
then there'll be a DVD Blu-ray in early 2026 as
Oh,
well.
fantastic. So I will have this pirated within the next 3 to 6 months. That's fantastic.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, if you're like me and you follow Tool on or like get Tool memes slash like Tool like content in your like Instagram feed,
Mm.
the level that people are freaking out about having pro shot Tool footage is like off the charts, because they just don't allow concert
Mm.
footage. Like it's
Wow.
all just like bootleg. People on cell phones are like snuck in a camcorder to their stuff in the 90s,
It'd be like
and then
if
like you
Daft
get like
Punk
a
like took
full
off their
pro shot.
helmets.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I like yeah. Um so okay, Ozzy.
Mm.
Well, next
The only
subject.
other thing, this is going to be a very like
go ahead.
pop culture mainstream episode. The only other thing I was going to talk about was that Stephen Colbert and The Late Show have been canceled. R.I.P. Bozo. Just putting that out there. But there's lots of like discussion and argument about why his show was canceled. Now here's the thing. This wasn't Stephen Colbert was removed from The Late Show and they're going to find some other host who's less critical of Paramount or CBS or whoever the fuck it is. They just canceled the fucking Late Show, man. Like, it's done. There's no more Late Show anymore. Has been so bad.
In 2026.
And
they got like a year left or
something.
Or
Yeah,
maybe it's like 9 months or 10 months.
something. But like, it's done. It's gone. It's going away because Stephen Colbert has literally been costing CBS like $40 million a year for the past several years, running the fucking show into the ground.
Okay, here's a great question, which is how the fuck. And they said like the production budget was $100 million per year.
Yeah, dude.
How the fuck do you spend $100 million per year?
I guess the dancing vaccines were really expensive.
Audience.
You know what it was?
The guests?
The price for paying people to sit through an episode and laugh just kept going up because the show just kept getting so progressively worse. So they'd pull people, hey, you want to come see the late? Nah, man. Nah. We'll give you such and such money. Nah. Really? All right, how about this much? How about this much? Fuck you. Okay, fine. Come in and laugh on cue. That's what the problem was. They were bribing the...
No, the thing is with all the late night shows, all they do is people will go on vacation to New York and they'll stand in line to go see the show every night, and it's free, and they make it free because they want a packed house, and people will show up night after night, or they'll travel to go be like, hey, I'm gonna go stand in line to be on the late night show with Stephen Colbert or whatever. And so like that's never been the problem. It's like having an audience, but they have like a writing staff, they have Steven himself, and they have but like the studio and the real estate, like not that, like for 100 million, really?
Yeah, I mean, unless a lot of that really is just going to like property taxes and licenses and fees and shit to operate in New York, which I could see, but like, no, it just doesn't make any sense. The amount of money they were spending on this fucking show Like, all right, you've lost $40 million how many years in a row? Cut the fucking budget by $42 million or some shit. Just so you're at least breaking
It,
even, pumping
it
out this
will not
garbage.
affect the fucking production value
No, not at all.
whatsoever.
Like,
The
oh
production
no.
value is a couple dudes in suits standing in a room
Yeah. And maybe
decorated the same
there's
every
like a
fucking day.
band, I guess, too. Maybe. I don't know. I've never
Does it
actually
have a
seen.
band?
I don't know. I've never
Well,
watched the fucking show.
doesn't he have the Roots as his house band?
That maybe. I honestly don't know. But like it's again, it's just funny that everybody thinks they're doing it because like Trump had him removed and had the show canceled, and it's like I don't like if there was
Oh no, that's
actually
Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon has the
oh,
Roots as
Jimmy
his
Fallon.
house band.
See, here's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing now. We're at a point where like Stephen Colbert sucked and now he's gone. Next, hopefully, is fucking Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Fallon,
Yeah.
I don't care for him, but I also he doesn't like he's not a sleaze bag like Jimmy Kimmel, for example.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's okay. Like he's kind of funny and stuff, but ultimately I don't care about Jimmy Fallon. And somehow he manages to not cost his parent network $40 million a year. So there's that. But yeah, no, I just wanted to touch on Stephen Colbert getting fucking canceled and the late night show going
Well,
away
okay,
because of him. And
I want to tie this in with something, which is
yes,
did you see the latest approval numbers for Trump,
72% disapprove, I believe.
particularly among Zoomers?
Probably because of the fucking Epstein bullshit, which not just gonna go away, man. You gotta deal with that.
So people were commenting, they were like, "Oh, Zoomers are the conservative Zoomer phenomena only lasted like 6 months, I guess."
No,
And
the
it's like
problem is like most Zoomers are just
that
really
is not the way to
anti-Semitic.
read that statistic.
Yeah. This isn't them swinging
You are
left.
in
This is them
danger.
swinging harder right. You are in danger. Oh
This
man.
is this is you think Trump is like turbo Hitler or fascism 2025,
The actual
and the
Hitlers are
Zoomer
pissed because he's not pushing the fucking accelerator fast enough.
like um see, I saw one great post, if I could find it in a second here, maybe. um let's see. Okay, yeah, we talked about SIGs, we talked about, oh, if anybody doesn't follow Marcel on X, it's a great follow,
Yeah.
by the way.
I mean, if you have to
Marcel,
use X, but yes.
it's just where content is kind of being made now. It's
No?
like, Tumblr's not really generating a lot of OP original posts and original content at some
True.
point.
True.
Um, oh God, where was it? It was something to the effect of like uh Republican staffer Zoomer, and it's like they have like a Totenkopf SS like badge pin on their on their lapel, and they're like, I just feel as a straight white male that you just can't say certain things, and that's why I'm right wing and part of the Republican Party.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh.
Um,
One thing I actually so we can kind of if you've got something else we'll go over that. But one thing I definitely wanted to bring up from earlier about your bicycle thing was also about Marcel. Do you think Marcel would support you gunning down those cyclists in self defense for running your dog off?
see, that is a little bit of a gray zone. I
Yeah.
think we both were in a spot where you could equally say like there was a fault for
Mhm.
both of us. Okay, the fault for my side was I didn't have her on leash, which is okay as long as you have adequate recall, and you have the ability to control your dog, like, and she's obviously wasn't aggressive. But the other side of it is like as a bicyclist, you're supposed to yield to pedestrians on a narrow forest path.
Exactly.
So, who's originally at fault here? And it's like, okay, let's go backwards a little bit and like analogize to something else that we can conceptualize a little easier and makes it more clear. So it's kind of like a traffic system. Everything
Sorry.
okay?
No, yeah, I thought there was some. So tomorrow is a big state holiday in Utah. It's Pioneer Day, and there's a shitload of fireworks going off right now. And for a second, I was just like, that doesn't sound like. Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So the idea was okay, so if we talk about like traffic laws or something like that. Because essentially this is just a traffic law thing that happened. If you were to have a pedestrian in the crosswalk and you failed to yield to them, but they were, I'm trying to think of an analogy here. They had a child that was running in front of them.
Yeah.
Just as the light was changing, who would be in the wrong?
Yeah.
And I'd say the car driver is
Yeah.
still in the wrong. Even though like, oh, I wish I had restrained the child from running into the street. That's why the crosswalk exists. That's why the signal exists.
Exactly.
And so yeah, I think they're in the wrong. I was armed at the time. I was such in shock that I wasn't going to be like, draw down on some dudes and just be like, hey, fucking like stop and like, honestly, like I'm like yelling stop at them to like stop, chasing my dog off basically because they don't realize what they're doing. And like, what? It's gonna shoot them in the back?
No.
As if that's gonna make them stop running away from me.
I mean, it would. Yeah, if you shoot them in the back, they'll definitely stop forever. But
yeah, but then my dog's gonna just keep running.
yeah, dog's gonna keep running because the gunshots are louder, and you shot him in the back. Which even in the most like stand your groundish state, they're gonna be like, actually, why'd you shoot him in the back, bro? Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's not happening.
No.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just like.
It was a fun thought experiment.
No, as a thought experiment, I think in a libertarian society, you could escalate every single offense to capital on site punishment. So, okay, technically, if they were still in the process of like biking and they hit me with
different,
like on their bikes, or hit me or hit the dog directly or whatever, like hit my property,
then it's go time.
And they failed to stop. That's basically hit and run.
That's a fleeing
assault.
felon at that point, yeah. Which even
and that's where like lethal force might be justified, I guess.
Yeah,
but so I mean, technically they were kind of in that situation because like I'm not sure if they hit the dog. She seemed way more freaked out than she's ever been freaked out by any mountain biker.
Yeah.
I didn't see because like, it could have been one way or the other. I don't know.
Well, at least you got her back and she's safe.
You should be able to shoot people who flee from hitting you with their vehicle.
You should just be able to shoot cyclists for any reason at any time.
Shot on sight.
Shot on sight.
Summary execution.
I'm doing my part. Would you like to know more? Well, I think that's all I had planned for tonight. Politically, not, I guess, or news-wise, not a whole lot happened. So.
Well, there was the HHS wanted to review.
The fucking organ donation.
Hospitals are fucking harvesting people's organs while they're still alive.
We can actually, I'm sure there will more develop about that. There's going to be some discourse because that came out today. And yeah, that's a reason I'm not a fucking organ donor is because
I have been tracking this for years and I used to be an organ donor and I'm like, wait a minute, if there's even just a chance that they want to fucking kill me so they can harvest my organs. And there's even cases of people like biting on the breathing tube and crying and they're still harvesting their organs and stuff like that. And it's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Well,
I
I think that'll be a good topic for next episode because I feel like we can kill an
okay.
entire episode on that.
No,
Be-
yeah, and then maybe I don't know other setups we could have. Our
yeah.
Poland discovers its largest oil and gas field in
Ooh,
history along the German border with 33 million tons of oil and 27 billion cubic meters of natural gas.
that'll work. That'll be something we could talk about too. And I also saw something today. I'm not holding my breath over, but something about the DOJ recommending possible criminal charges for Obama based on his role in Russiagate, which we'll see, man. I don't really know. I don't think that's
I
gonna
I
really.
I I think nothing ever happens.
Nothing ever happens. Nothing has happened. Nothing happens. Nothing ever will happen. But, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us for another episode of The Altar, now on Wednesday nights. I think this will be the last time I mention that because it just works. It's smooth. It's seamless. But, ladies and gentlemen, from myself, Max, and Scooby here, we wish you a safe night, a safe day tomorrow. And as always, taxation is theft.